Hi, this is Chris Walker, and today we're talking about the first week of the Back on Track 30-day challenge. And this week is about being real, R-E-A-L, which is reality, energy, attitude, and life. And what we're trying to say is to become, if we're into a process of going toward the future, we want to begin with being extremely grounded rather than ungrounded, which will make us ambitious to go somewhere because we're running away from something or we're trying to get away from a certain situation. And we need to sort of ground ourselves in that because there's a few little loopholes and a potential trouble making strategy comes out of that alone. So once again, Chris Walker here, and I hope you enjoy this short presentation. You may have watched the introduction video which explains the 30-day challenge, and I'd like to just go through it quickly with you. The first step we're moving around the cycle is to real, which is what we're talking about this week. In that cycle, what we're trying to do is build a foundation for growth, to make sure that we're not in reaction, to make sure that we're not in any form of nervous tension, to make sure we're not coming from a place of exhaustion and therefore trying to hype ourselves up with some sort of visiony, dreamy fantasy and therefore hyperventilate or hyper-excite ourselves. So we're trying to get a good foundation in order to create the second week, which is about give, which is about vision. So in order to get grounded in the first week, we focus on the word real. And I love this part of the program because real is one of my favorite acronyms. The basic word real means, or the acronym real means, love the life you've got. And it's a powerful understanding that no matter where you are in life, no matter what's going on around you at the moment, no matter what your ambition, if you run away or if you're trying to get somewhere, you're losing your power. The greatest power a human being has is wanting to be where they are, to being satisfied, to being content. I need nothing, I want nothing, and therefore I have everything. And that is empowerment. The very definition of empowerment. People think the power is in going somewhere, but it's not. That's the vulnerability. And we all want to go somewhere. We all do want to stretch ourselves into the unknown and go towards goals and visions. And that's vitally important for our enthusiasm for life. But if it comes from the place of dissatisfaction, if it comes from the place of ingratitude, if it comes from the place of self-deprecation, then we're running away, and we're absolutely sure we're going to run into what we're running away from in the future. So it's very wise, and it's the wisdom of this 30-day challenge, is to spend the first week getting real. And let's just go through the acronym of REAL. It means reality, energy, attitude, and life. Life being the top of the pyramid. But let's go through them one by one. Number one, let's embrace reality. But what is reality? Let's look. Reality is that there's two sides to everything in the world. Everything in the universe grows at the border of support and challenge. All things are interconnected. There's a rhythm, which is the thinking, the vibration of your thinking, which causes things to come and go in our life. And there's the law of hierarchy. In other words, there are things more important and less important in our lives, and sometimes pain comes from misinterpreting the importance of those things. In other words, we will quite often set fire to our finger and think our whole body's on fire just because we lost something or something didn't go right. We'll over-exaggerate things. And it's very important to understand that law of hierarchy in order to understand what is real, what is reality. Let's have a look now at what is not reality. Reality is not emotion. Emotions are inventions of the human mind. The mind interprets through the senses a sense of better or worse, good or bad, self and other, right and wrong. And those things are how we maintain some sense of place in the world. But they're not real. They're invented. If you take 10 people and give them one event, 10 people will have different emotions regarding that event. And if you go for different cultures around the world, different cultures experiences different events, and different religions experience different events, and different companies and different organizational cultures. So you can't say that emotion is real. It's an invention. It's a societal. It's a cultural invention. It is a conditioned response that we have to certain things, but it's not real. And we need to differentiate between emotion and reality, because reality is how we work the inner core of ourselves. Emotion is how we drive our sales and our business and our theatre. So the emotion is not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just not real. Identity. Identity, we say, I am Chris. I have this identity, and these are what I believe, and this is what I've experienced, and this is what I think, and this is what I hold true. Those things are what we create and construct, just very much like the emotions. They are our thoughts and our experiences, but they are not real. They are our experience of experiences. They are our interpretation, and they need to be made transparent for us to become grounded. Otherwise, we'll believe every pinprick we get in our arm, thinking that it's a rocket ship coming through to bomb the universe. So we can exaggerate once we've locked into an identity. The idea that how our behavior is separate to somebody else's, our separation, that's not real. The sense of loss, when we have something that we lose, we don't get something we want, we lose a relationship, or we lose a business, or we lose something, that sense of loss is also a fiction. And the sense of gain is also a delusional perspective on the way the world works. But this is the laws, the universal laws of nature, and it's a fairly significant piece of study in the first week, and it's a challenge, and I respect that, and I'm here to help you through that in the first session that we have together, to understand the universal laws versus morals, ethics, codes, emotions, identity, belief patterns, etc., etc. And I've got a process that will really help you through that. So that's the first step, is getting real. The second step is energy, and we want to build energy. So when we're going through any sort of a challenge, any sort of a crisis, or any sort of a confrontation at all, the most important thing is turn firstly to real, secondly turn to energy, and your mission becomes to build your energy up, to get more energy from this event. This event in itself can energize you. Now the way we do it is simple. We eat right, we be kind, we do right, and we love more. They're the four most important anchor points, or the pillars of energy. If you can eat right, be kind, do right, and love more, you will have more energy than you'll ever dream of. And that's in spite of things going wrong. What you don't want to do is eat junk, be angry, do harm to anybody, or react to them, or run away from them. So those four things will suck your energy, although they'll feel at first like they're energizing. Sometimes being angry makes us feel really energized, but it's exhausting. It's unsustainable. It's fictitious energy. Eating junk gives us sugar in our blood, which is again gives us a feeling of energy, but it's not sustainable. Doing harm to others, it feels like we're getting our own back, or we're getting superior, or we're getting justification, but it doesn't help, because it always bounces back on us. That's karma. And reacting or running means wherever we react and go to, or wherever we run to, isn't where we were meant to be. It's actually them. They are the person or that event running our life. Let's go to the third point now. The third point is attitude. And the third point in real is an attitude. And what we're trying to say here is that we want to be no blame, no victim, appreciate. No blame, no victim, appreciate. And that is the metaphor. It's an attitude of gratitude. It's inspired thinking, not stinking thinking. So the third step in being grounded is to be thankful for the challenge that we're trying to wrestle with. Be thankful for it. And everything in life is a blessing, and it's very easy to go, I wish I didn't have that challenge, life would be better. But that's not true. Every challenge we have takes us to a place where we're meant to go. And sometimes it's very unfortunate. Those challenges are very, very hard to deal with and very confronting. But there's no such thing in the world as a curse. There's only blessings. And we have to believe that. We have to trust that. We have to come to appreciate that in order to move forward into the future with a healthy space and grounded thinking. And finally, step 4 is life. If we step back and see the big picture, there's a silver lining in everything that goes on around us. So if we step back far enough, we'll see that there are 7 areas of life: spiritual, mental, social, career, health, financial, relationship. And each of those areas of life functions independently to the other in some senses. And so you might be having problems with a relationship, but then it's wise to look at your spiritual, your mental life. You can at least think your social life. You've still got some friends, and be thankful for what you've got rather than to be focused and over exaggerating what you haven't got. It's very easy to be at work and going, oh, life, I'm depressed, life's going down the toilet because my work is bad. But that forgets that you've got a body that breathes, a bowel that opens, a spirituality that can go and sit in the sand and connect to God. You've got some sort of financial situation, which is someone will lend you money or whatever. You've got friends, and so there's things to be thankful for. And it's very important in life to remember that a balanced person is balanced in each of the 7 areas of life. And sometimes we come unstuck in 1 or 2, and that's understandable. But we very rarely, in fact, we never come unstuck in all 7. There's a counterbalancing effect in the world, and therefore when we're out of balance in 1 or 2 or 3 areas of life, there is a positive rebalancing in another 2 or 3 areas of life. So let's go through it just quickly to summarize. The acronym is REAL, R-E-A-L. That's what we're working on in week 1. It's an exciting adventure because it's grounding. It means you can face any challenge, move through it, get to the other side and be grounded. And grounding is step 1, because you don't want to go through a challenge and come out the other side resentful or regretful or aerated or hyperventilated or dizzy or spinning out or overwhelmed. You want to come out of every challenge with a clear mind, with gratitude in your heart, with feet on the ground, and ready at that point to step into a vision quest or step into a new area of which we'll be covering in the next video, a new area of visioning and a new area of enthusiasm for life. First step though is to love where you are, to love the life you live, to love the life you've got, to love the life you've got. This is Chris Walker. Have a beautiful day and looking forward to working with you this week. Bye for now.